Hi friends, myself Subrata Mukherjee and you are watching my channel Dr. Subrata Mukherjee Distance Learning in Commerce. Today we are going to discuss another problem on self-balancing and sectional balancing system. From the following information, prepare debtors ledger adjustment account and creditors ledger adjustment account in the general ledger of Mr. A. On 1st January 2020, debtors ledger balance debit rupees 10,000 and rupees 1,000 credit. Creditors ledger balance credit rupees 12,000. Transaction during the year 2020. Cash sales 20,000. Credit sales is 80% of total sales. Cash received from customers 40% of credit sales. Bills receivable received 15,000, returns from customer rupees 400, bills endorsed rupees 2,000, bills dishonored rupees 1,000, bills receivable as endorsed dishonored rupees 500, interest charged to customer rupees 120, transferred from bought ledger rupees 150, total purchase rupees 4 lakh, cash purchase 20% of total purchase. So I have prepared the structure of the two ledgers that I have to prepare here. So I have written here in the books of Mr. A. So in general ledger, we have to prepare the debtor ledger adjustment account and in general ledger, creditor ledger adjustment account. So these are the two ledgers, that is debtors ledger and creditor ledger adjustment account we have to prepare in general ledger. So the first transaction given is the balance of debtor ledger account. So on 1st January 2020, the balance of debtor is given as rupees 10,000. So the debit balance of debtor is given as 10,000 and the credit balance of debtor is given as rupees 1,000. So I am writing here by balance BD, brought down balance, that is the credit balance is rupees 1,000. The next balance is the creditor balance and the credit balance is given as rupees 12,000. So on 1st January 2020, I am writing here by balance BD rupees 12,000. So this is the creditor ledger balance and the balance given is 12,000 and it is a credit balance. The next transaction is regarding this debtor and it is given that the cash sales for the year as rupees 20,000 and credit sales is 80% of total sales. So if cash sales is 20,000 and credit sale is given as 80%, it means that the cash sales represents 20% of total sales. So here I am writing on 31st December 20 to general ledger adjustment account and what is the value of credit sales? Very simple to calculate. 20,000 is the amount of cash sales and if the credit sales is 80% of total sales, it means that the cash sales is 20%. It means the total sales you can calculate by 20,000 divided by 20%. So total sales will be 1 lakh and 80% of total sales is the credit sales. So you will get 80,000 here. So the credit sales for the year is 80,000. Next, it is given that the amount received from customer is 40% of the amount of credit sales. So again on the credit side, I have to write on 31st December 20 by general ledger adjustment account. And the amount received from customer, that is the cash received from customer, is 40% of credit sales and credit sales is rupees 80,000. So amount received from customer is 32,000. So what is the journal entry for the cash received from customer? It is general ledger adjustment account debit to debtor ledger adjustment account and the amount received is 32,000. Next transaction given is bills receivable received. So here on the credit side I am going to write bills receivable and the amount is for 15,000. So your journal entry is general ledger adjustment account debit to debtor ledger adjustment account and the amount of BR received is 15,000. Next is return from customer. So credit sales is the amount which is sold to customer and the amount received from customer, that is on the credit side I have to return as sales return rupees 400. Then it is given bills endorsed rupees 2000. So this is an item that is to be recorded in your creditor ledger adjustment account. So in creditor ledger adjustment account on the debit side I am writing 31st December 20 to general ledger adjustment account. And the amount will be bills receivable endorsed. So I have to write here bills receivable within bracket I am writing for your understanding endorsed. So and the amount is for rupees 2000. So actually when a bill is endorsed in favor of a creditor, the journal is written as creditor account debit to BR. And here we are preparing the creditor ledger adjustment account in general ledger. So the journal is creditor ledger adjustment account debit to general ledger adjustment account and the amount of bill endorsed in favor of creditor is for rupees 2000. The next item is bills dishonored rupees 1000. So this is also an item of debtor ledger. So here on the debit side I am writing bills receivable dishonored. So I am writing BR and within bracket I am writing dishonored. And the amount is for rupees 1000. So your journal entry is debtor ledger adjustment account debit to general ledger adjustment account. So again I am repeating here in this problem that whatever item we are recording on the debit side will increase the balance of debtor and the items which are recorded on the credit side will reduce the amount of debtor balance. So here I have written regarding the bills receivable dishonored. The next transaction is bills receivable as endorsed dishonor. It means that this is going to increase the balance of debtor as well as creditor. So this item, that is bills receivable as endorsed dishonored rupees 500, will be recorded both in debtor ledger as well as in creditor ledger. So first I am recording it in the debtor ledger and I am writing here as bills receivable dishonored and the amount is for rupees 500. And in the creditor ledger adjustment account I am writing as by general ledger adjustment account and here I have to write bills receivable as endorsed dishonored. That actually I have to write bills receivable and for understanding I am writing as endorsed dishonored. So this item will increase the amount of the credit balance of the creditors. The next transaction is interest charged to customer for rupees 120. So in debtor ledger adjustment account I am writing here interest rupees 120. So your journal entry is debtor ledger adjustment account debit to general ledger adjustment account and the purpose is for interest, that is rupees 120. Next is transferred from bought ledger. It means this is going to reduce both the debtor balance as well as the creditor balance. So in debtor account I am writing here transfer and the amount is for rupees 150. And in creditor ledger account I am writing on the debit side as transfer rupees 150. Next item is total purchase given as rupees 4 lakh and cash purchase is 20%. It represents that the credit purchase is 80% of total purchase, and I can simply write here as credit purchase is 80% of total purchase, that is for 4 lakh, and the amount will be 3,20,000. So your journal entry is general ledger adjustment account debit to creditor ledger adjustment account for credit purchase, and the amount is 3,20,000. And cash paid to creditor is 60% of the credit purchase. So on debit side, I have to write here 60% as cash, 60% of 3,20,000, that is 1,92,000 is the amount of cash paid to creditor. And the journal entry is creditor ledger adjustment account debit to general ledger adjustment account, and the amount paid to creditor is for rupees 1,92,000. Next is bills payable accepted. So in creditor ledger, I have to record bills payable rupees 10,000, and the last entry is the return outward. Return outward means purchase return, and to be recorded here in creditor ledger as a return outward or simply return. I have to write outward, and the amount is rupees 1,000. So this way I have recorded all the items in the debtor ledger adjustment account and the creditor ledger adjustment account. Now it's time to close this account. So in the debtor ledger, you will get a debit balance on the credit side, and I am writing here as on 31st December 20 by balance CD, that is the carried down balance will be 43,070, and this is as balancing figure. So the debit total of the debit and credit side is 91,620. I have to write here. So you can see what are the items I have recorded on the debit side of debtor ledger adjustment account. The opening balance 10,000, the credit sales for rupees 80,000, then bills receivable dishonored 1,000, bills receivable dishonored as endorsed 500, and interest charged to customer 120. And on credit side, you will find the cash receipt from customer 32,000, the opening credit balance as 1,000, bills receivable received 15,000, then return 400 rupees, transfer from bought ledger 150, and the balancing figure of debtor ledger adjustment account is 43,070. And the creditor ledger adjustment account, you will find there will be a balancing figure on the debit side, and I am writing here as to balance CD, that is carried down balance is 1,27,350, and total of the debit and credit side of creditor ledger adjustment account is 3,32,500. So have a look at the solution that I have done here. If you find any difficulty in understanding, feel free to contact me through email and the contact number given in the description box. Thank you. Thanks for watching the lecture.